Imagine a place that tells a story spanning centuries, where culture and nature intertwine to create something truly extraordinary. That's the beauty of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. I'm Abigail, and this is Global Treasures, the podcast that covers the history, travel tips, and legends surrounding one of the 1,223 World Heritage Sites each episode. These places have been identified as having universal cultural or natural significance that is so exceptional that it transcends national boundaries and is of importance to present and future generations. Welcome to Season 3, where we'll explore the 27 sites that UNESCO added in 1980 together. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We appreciate all of your support, and you can continue to support us by subscribing at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, or any major platform. You can also follow us on TikTok and Facebook. Please share this podcast with your friends and family who love travel and history as well. Word of mouth is so powerful. Before we embark on our journey together, I just want to note that there are multiple pronunciations and ways of spelling the name of this site. In case you do independent research after listening, I don't want that to come as a surprise or confuse anyone. The story of Qa'la of Beni Hammad begins in the year 1007, when it was built by Hamid ibn Balagan. Qa'la of Beni Hammad is a fortified Muslim city located in Algeria, a country in North Africa. This historic site, now in ruins, once stood as the first capital of the Hammadid dynasty in the 11th century. Nestled among the Hodna Mountains at an elevation of over 4,600 feet, the site is located approximately 140 miles southeast of Algiers, Algeria's current capital. The city was a significant political and military center during its time, designed to serve as both a stronghold and a vibrant hub of commerce. Enclosed within a 4-mile-long defensive wall were 4 residential complexes and the biggest mosque in Algeria. This mosque featured a minaret that stood an impressive 66 feet high, serving as a distinguished symbol of Islamic architectural and religious life. Excavations at Qa'la of Beni Hammad have uncovered artifacts, including terracotta, which is clay-based pottery or sculptures. Coins, jewels, and ceramics have also been uncovered. Proof that this was a cosmopolitan civilization that thrived under the Hammadid dynasty. One of the most prominent discoveries was the Emir's Palace, Dar al-Bahr, which translates to palace or house of the sea, or lake palace. To clarify, the title Emir refers to a male monarch or high-ranking political leader, and the Hammadid rulers used Qa'la of Beni Hammad not only as their position of power, but a token of domination in the medieval Islamic world. The site's tactical location and sturdy construction made it a powerful military base. But let us talk further about Dar al-Bahr, which only added to the city's grandeur. It was located near the mosque, with the eastern court being noted as having a large water basin. Water basins often served religious purposes for ablution, a ritual where one cleanses themselves before prayer in Islam. However, it also may have served as drinking water. Nestled in the northern part of the courtyards was the main reception room, while the southern side held a domed hall and had outer walls with buttresses. This massive complex included 3 separate residences, all skillfully arranged around pavilions and lush gardens, as well as decorative fountains adorned with lion motifs. These characteristics exhibit the architectural advancements of the period, while the cultural and economic importance helped shape the long-term history of the region. It's interesting to note the architectural style of the Hammadids was largely influenced by the Normans, who were Vikings, proof that cultures have borrowed and learned from one another since the beginning of time. The incredible wealth of resources dedicated to the arts at Qa'la of Beni Hammad turned the city into an energetic cultural center that drew in poets and artists from across the Islamic world. It wasn't just royals who resided here, but soldiers and artisans as well, all serving different functions. Given the diversity of different types of artists, it's no surprise that the palaces were covered with rich adornments, featuring intricate decorations that reflected both luxury and artistic innovation. Porcelain mosaics and pottery showcasing geometric patterns were frequently seen, along with floral motifs that garnished the interiors, offering a glance into the ornamental sophistication of the Hammadid dynasty. These artistic endeavors were not only a testament to the city's success, but also served as predecessors to later evolution in Western Islamic art, especially in the 12th century. The mosque is the central feature, with its prayer hall holding multiple aisles and 8 bays, creating an extensive spiritual space that embodies holy allegiance and architectural splendor. The city rose to become the capital, and again, its strategic importance was what allowed it to sustain a siege in 1017. By 1090, just 73 years later, the fortress was abandoned due to the looming threat of the Banu Hilal, which was a confederation of tribes. However, its eventual destruction in 1152 is attributed to the Almohads. The excavations at Qa'la mentioned before began in the year 1908 and continues to draw experts within different fields of study to the region even today. So now that we've covered the history, let's dive into travel tips and logistics for those who plan on visiting Qa'la of Beni Hammad. You can check out the show notes for links and tools to help plan your trip more efficiently at no extra cost to you. So Algeria is actually the largest country in Africa. However, more than 80% of the country lies dormant due to the Sahara Desert, which has temperatures that reach over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The Sahara is also home to some dangerous animals, including the Sahara viper and spotted hyena, that you probably don't want to share your neighborhood with. When determining the best time of year to visit, crowds don't need to be a concern, because this site only gets about 1,000 visitors on average each year. As a result, weather might be your best gauge if you don't have to schedule around school-related summer vacations. While the temperatures won't be as hot as in the desert, the summer can still get into the high 90s, and again, that's in degrees Fahrenheit. Also keep in mind that if you do go during the summer months, you may want to plan to visit Qa'la earlier in the day. The tourist visa process for Algeria can take a bit of time, and there are requirements in terms of information that needs to be provided. So make sure to walk through that process as far in advance as possible. You also may want to consider downloading a translation app or purchasing a pocket phrase book. Arabic is the official language, and you'll find, especially in the less populated areas, that English is not as widely spoken as in some countries. You'll likely want to fly into Houari Boumediene International Airport, often called Algiers International Airport. It's about a 3-hour-long drive away from Qa'la, and I don't recommend renting a car because while the city roads have vastly improved, driving on more rural roads could be problematic, especially if the car were to break down and you don't know the language. There's not a bus that goes directly between this site and Algiers either. Also, typical rideshare options that we may be accustomed to in North America or Europe aren't available in Algeria. And on this note, while I love encouraging people to explore and travel independently, this is another site where it may be in your best interest to book a tour. The tour companies, or independent tour guides, often can help you navigate the visa process, arrange transportation to and from the airport, and ensure transportation to and from the site. There are even UNESCO World Heritage Site-specific tours that take you to different sites within this region, which is very cool. If you go independently, know that you'll pay a small fee at the entrance. As with many of these sites, some of the buildings that stood historically may only be remnants at this point. You'll see much of the minaret, but again, don't be disappointed because the landscape itself is beautiful. It's very picturesque, so you'll probably find yourself taking lots of photos. Be sure to bring portable chargers with you. For those who have accessibility needs, this site does require some walking on an incline. Given there aren't many hotels in the area, many choose to do a day trip from Algiers, despite the long drive, since the city has so much to do and see. There are lots of museums, cultural activities, and restaurants. Speaking of restaurants, I want to end today's episode by talking about the cuisine. The bulk of the dishes include a meat, such as lamb, often marinated. Usually it's served with couscous. This is steamed semolina and is frequently referred to as the national dish. It's much like rice, but with a different texture. One dessert that is a standout and definitely worth trying is crêponnet. This is a sweet sorbet that originated in a coastal city in Algeria. It's made with lemon, sugar, and egg whites typically. The texture is a mix between the iciness usually associated with sorbet and soft-serve ice cream. But you'll have delicious options no matter where you go or what foods you decide to try. Through its commitment to culture and design, Qa'la of Beni Hammad served as a metropolis that left an enduring legacy that would influence Islamic art and architecture for generations. This property may be vulnerable to weathering and time, but it's a place of extraordinary beauty that future generations can continue to enjoy and appreciate. Join us for our next episode, where we'll uncover yet another incredible World Heritage Site. Until then, keep exploring, keep wondering, and keep treasuring the remarkable diversity of our world's heritage.